Make it bounce like hydraulics while I'm sipping on tonic. Who your favorite rapper, baby? I'm way behind it. She pulling on my zipper cause she heard us behind it. Heard about it from her friends, now they all wanna try it. I only know her on a twerk some basis. I only know her, I only know her, I only know her on a twerk some basis.
Yeah, it's your boy, Candace.
It's your boy, Wraith.
And it's the Love First podcast. We're back again. Episode number 16. That is, 26. That's the year after the kids together. It's a blessing to be here, man. This episode is start your own side hustle, man. We want to make sure you guys start your own side hustle. You got motivated. Thank you, God, for the opportunity to be back with another episode. Please guide us. Let's provide motivation, inspiration to the people how you want us to be successful in your name. In Jesus' name, we thank you.
Amen.
Yes. This episode we do have some keys to drop as usual.
Always dropping keys.
Your weekly dose of keys, weekly dose. Make sure y'all rewinding it, y'all sharing it, y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. Of course, Butterfly Doors is out. You know what I'm saying? Gotta make some noise for Butterfly Doors.
Butterfly Doors.
Yes.
You know why it's called Butterfly Doors? Because we just going up. We just rising to the occasion.
We rising, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, you know what I mean? And we've been getting so much love, man. Just a lot of people sharing it, reposting it. First week, it got like 5,000 plays, right?
Yep.
5,000 plays. That was just Spotify. Apple Music is going crazy. Waiting for those numbers.
Apple Music babies.
We got a few stars. Apple Music, they're a little. Shout out to Apple Music though. 2 downloads is $1. We appreciate that. Yo, so make sure you download that. If you got Apple Music, download that on Apple Music. If not, we're definitely on Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, Xbox Music, Google Play, every streaming platform, YouTube, all of that, TikTok.
Name it, we on it.
Every single thing, man. Make sure y'all watch the interview. We had a great. It's more of a conversation. We had a great conversation about the mixtape, kind of break down the songs, and even just tools that artists can take when y'all working on music, y'all looking for inspiration, or even dropping the project.
Yeah, I seen this from episode 1 until now.
Yes.
Yeah, I see the growth. So I don't want nobody.
Live from Grand Central, baby.
I don't want nobody making excuses for themselves.
Yeah.
Talking about, how'd they get from here to here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you seeing the progression.
We're doing it right in front of your eyes, building step by step, key by key.
Key by key.
We do have some wake up alert, some information that's kind of going on. I know a lot of people had certain questions about unemployment, right? Mm-hmm. Because one, Congress hasn't really officially passed a law for unemployment or anything.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump passed an executive order, right?
Yeah.
But this executive order was stating that the federal government will provide $300 in funding, and it's allocated from FEMA money that was left over, right? Mm-hmm. So they'll provide $300. They said the states provide $100, and then you can get $400 in unemployment assistance if the state applies, and they provide that. A lot of states are going through a lot. Couldn't provide the $100. I think most. I don't know if any are providing the $100. I know most aren't. But the $300 is there, and the federal government's like,
most are trying not to provide no extra money.
You know. So now with that, in New York in general, New York was one of the last states to apply. I think like New York and Jersey. So currently, here's the process, right? You are gonna get retro pay from August. So when the $600 ended, you're getting retro pay from all those weeks that you missed.
Yeah.
Now, with this law, Congress did not pass this law. The problem with the executive order, right? Mm-hmm. He passed it so you can get the extra $300, right, until the end of the year, right, December, or until that money runs out, right? Now, the money, basically, based off how many people's unemployment, the money is set to run out around early October. Ooh. So the money won't last till December unless Congress comes up with something.
Yeah, because the amount of people that's unemployed.
The amount of people that's on there. So even though technically if there was more money in that bank account, you would get it till December. But because of the money running out, it's not going to last that long. So that's just a little clarity to clear up the confusion there. With New York, they did say they just got approved. I think they said they got approved for a few weeks, right? So you guys should start seeing that retro pay soon. At least with the last, 3 weeks of retro pay, I think they're going to kick it off with. then you'll get a little more. We'll try to keep you updated on that. With the unemployment, we do want to know from you guys. Do you guys feel like the 300 is enough? How do you feel about Congress taking all this time to actually pass something with this?
If you live in New York, you know damn well that
300 is not enough, right? If you lost your job because of the pandemic, it's not your fault. There's not a lot of, there's not a lot of other jobs out there. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a pandemic and things are opening up slowly. So, that's a fair point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you're living in New York, the $300 is definitely not enough. I mean, the 600 was just getting people by, but lowering it down to 300, I think. And some of these states, they're not even trying to add the extra 100.
Yeah,
like
no, not 90% of them are. Like, I don't know if any are. Like, there's probably a small list of who is. And the money's gonna run out. So legit, like, law needs to be passed. So let us know if you think the 300 is enough, and how long should the extra boost of this unemployment last? That's a great question.
For sure.
Now there was another wake-up alert. I think you guys are familiar with Cardi B, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Candace Owens, who does, talks a lot of politics. She's very knowledgeable in this. Yeah. Cardi B has also been talking politics, right? Yeah. She interviewed Joe Biden, things of that nature. She's very outspoken on politics. Now, you brought a video to my attention that Candace dropped, right? On her Instagram.
Yeah, her and Cardi B been going back and forth. Based off...
Do we know how it started?
I personally did not know how it started. I just kept seeing stuff on Twitter. Me, I'll be on
Twitter.
I'll be lurking through the trending.
Follow him on Twitter. What's the Twitter handle?
Yo, the Twitter handle is The Real Wraith.
The Real Wraith on Twitter. Yes.
Right. But I was just looking through the trending, and I just seen Cardi B versus Candace.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, Cardi B versus Candace. Like, Candace not even an artist. She's into the politic realm. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen what they was debating about, it obviously had a lot to do with the Joe Biden interview. And basically, she was basically challenging Cardi because Cardi didn't really ask enough suffice questions to really challenge Joe Biden. She kind of was agreeing with him the whole segment.
It was more like a promo video than an interview.
Yeah, it basically was like a promo video.
So I haven't seen it. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see what the...
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, what is up, Instagram? I'm going live on Instagram. This is the second time I've ever gone live on Instagram, but I just felt like I really wanted to clear the air on this Cardi B nonsense. So first and foremost, Cardi, I watched your story and it sounds very funny. First off, I'm saying it's funny because it's just ridiculous to me that you even take anything that I said as offensive when I'm telling you the truth. And I think, if anything, you're only upset because people are telling you on Twitter that you got dragged, because you did get dragged, because you are uneducated when it comes to politics. That's first things first. I was not, I'm sure Ben Shapiro was not, we were not meaning to attack you. We're just simply telling the truth, which is the fact that Joe Biden did not spend the whole year in his basement to come up because he's a big Cardi B fan and sit down with you. He thinks you're an idiot. And, I just am encouraging you to stop proving him right when you say ridiculous things like, I had to sit down with Joe Biden because my sister got attacked by a Trump supporter, Santa Claus, making it seem like Trump supporters are homophobic. A little education for you, Cardi B. Donald J. Trump is the first president that's ever gone into office in support of gay marriage. So, those 8 years that your presidential candidate Joe Biden spent as a vice president with Obama, they didn't support gay marriage going into office. Obama changed his tune on gay marriage in his second term. So the whole idea of Trump being a homophobe is a bit pointedly ridiculous and shows how uneducated you are. Then you came and you were talking about raising your taxes when you were on talking to Joe Biden, saying that you want your taxes lowered, but at the same time you want universal health care. That's ignorant and stupid. And Joe Biden knows it's ignorant and stupid. Even all the people that want free health care and universal health care acknowledge that tax rates have to be astronomical to be able to support that. So you're talking about a 74% tax rate. You continually keep saying you have a number one song. It means shit. Nobody cares about a song about your wet ass pussy. Excuse my language for my followers. being number one. I have a number one song in the UK. I have a number one song in Australia. I have a number one song in New Zealand. That has nothing to do with Black America and whether or not you are helping or hurting. Right now, you are hurting Black America. Okay? When you stand on a platform and you pretend to care about Black men, when you ask Joe Biden, what are we going to do about these Black men dying? He should have asked you back, what are Black men going to do about Black men dying? Because 94% of Black men are killed by other Black men. Okay? We don't have an issue with police officers. In fact, if you go into those inner cities and you go into those projects, they need more policing. So you're a fraud. You're sitting here making it seem like you're afraid of police officers. Are you afraid of your husband? You're more likely to be killed by your husband, way more likely to be killed by your husband than you are by a police officer. And you know that, right? You know that Black men kill more white men. You know that police officers are killed by Black men 18 and a half times more, right? So don't use your platform and 75 million people to make it seem like police officers are the issue. You're uneducated. I mean, that is just what it is. You are uneducated. And I don't have a problem, by the way, with musicians and rappers and hip hop artists dabbling in politics if they're sincere. What I mean by that is, are you talking to people on both sides? Are you trying to actually get an informed understanding, or are you just being a mouthpiece for one party? Charlemagne the God has multiple people on his platform. He's talked to Republicans. He's friends with Senator Tim Scott, talks to him. He's a Trump supporter. He's had vice presidential candidates on his show, on The Breakfast Club. But he asks serious questions. He doesn't sit down with Joe Biden and say, oh, grr. In fact, Joe Biden wasn't comfortable when Charlemagne the God was sitting down and speaking to him because Charlemagne the God was asking so many difficult questions. He wasn't just giving him a Santa Claus list like you are. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, and none of it makes sense. If you're serious about politics, if you're serious about trying to use your platform for good, then you need to educate yourself. That's literally all anybody is saying to you, is that you need to actually educate yourself and do the work. By the way, I'm not in your zone, you're in mine. Okay, so I get tired of your commenters and your fans saying, oh, she's clout chasing. I'd be clout chasing if I was challenging you to a rap battle. I'm not doing that. You're in my area. You're in politics. You're embarrassed because you realize you know nothing about anything when you're on Twitter. You actually told a lie just now to all of your followers. You said, oh, Trump, you said Trump told people to drink bleach. He never did that. Then you said Trump laughs when Black men get shot by police officers. How do you just put out a lie like that? How do you consider yourself to be a serious person when you just outwardly lied to all of your followers? You know he's never laughed at a Black man dying at police officers' hands. You know that for a fact. You can't pull a clip. Not even CNN, with all of their bullshit and lies, has ever claimed that Donald Trump laughs when Black men die at police officers. But you told that lie in a tweet. Why did you tell that lie? Because you're a fraud. So I'm calling you out on being a political fraud. You pretend you want to help. You don't. You don't. You don't know why you're a Democrat. You have no idea why you hate Republicans. You have no idea why you're on the side of the party that enslaved Black people, that segregated Black people, and standing behind a man that supported segregation. Joe Biden supported segregation. He said it's what Black people wanted. So let's just recap all of that. You're concerned about homophobia. For the 8 years that Joe Biden was in office, him and Obama didn't support gay marriage until the second term, but not when he was running for the second term. They didn't support gay marriage going into that office. You claim that you're concerned about racism and dying Black men, yet you want to defund police officers. That makes entirely no sense. You cannot defund the people that are actually protecting Black people. Black people need more policing in their neighborhoods, not less of it. And by the way, in those neighborhoods, there are Black police officers that are dying because it tends to be that police officers look like the neighborhoods that they're policing. So you are actually standing on a platform for more Black men to die, for taxes to be raised, right? For a man that has a very atrocious race record to be put into office, who looked at you the entire time like he was confused when you were talking because he knew that you were nothing but a puppet for him to be able to get a platform. That's it. You're a puppet. They use you. Okay? And you want to sit here and talk about Trump using me, or like, what do you talk about? Using me for what? I don't work for the RNC. I don't get paid by the Trump campaign. I say what I believe. You don't know what to do when you're looking at a Black woman that's free. That's what your problem is. I am telling you who I support, and I'm educated. And I'm challenging you to become educated. I'm challenging you to sit down with Black conservatives, okay? And have a meaningful conversation and a dialogue about what you actually want, and to actually try to understand the economics behind what you want, and to try to understand why it is you're actually supporting a man that does not care about Black lives and never has, and has been in office for decades and hasn't changed anything, and you're blaming Trump? It makes no sense. You hate Trump because they told you to hate Trump. You gave me no valid reasons for hating Trump. Not a single one, not even one valid reason for why you hate Trump. You just think you're supposed to because you're a puppet. That's what happens when you get big. Look, Cardi, I enjoyed you a lot on Love and Hip Hop. I thought you were hilarious. Second I first saw you on TV, I said to my cousin, she's going to be a star. She has that it factor. She's very funny, you know, she's confident, and she says ridiculous things. I think you belong on TV. I don't believe you belong in the realm of politics unless you're willing to get serious about it. In conclusion, tonight I was just signing books, and I'm going to send you one because you need one. You need to learn. You need to black out. You need to black it. You need to learn.
With the promo then.
Yeah, so, all right, so
what do you think of that?
A lot of things to unpack in that. So, me personally, not being a puppet and having free thinking, I actually agree and disagree with a few things that Candace said, you know?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about Candace. This is actually the first time I actually got to, like, really see her. But I've heard she had, like, great debates with T.I., you know, and she is knowledgeable, and things of that nature. So a couple of things that what she was saying, right? Yeah, so Republican, and then there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Yeah. But it's we do got to be able to talk about each thing because certain times you can agree. It's okay to agree with Democrats on this side, agree with Republicans here, agree with Independents.
Yeah, we talk
here.
about that all the time when we
know?
discuss politics. Like it's okay to even if you are a Democrat, it's okay to agree with what that Republican says.
Exactly.
Like,
because we're people. If they're saying what's right,
because at the end of the day, we should be free thinkers. You know what I'm saying?
That's the Trump party. So let's start adjusting what she was saying with Cardi B, right?
Yeah.
I think that overall, the message, right? There's never anything wrong with requesting someone be more knowledgeable on something, and she's kind of laying out. She laid out certain facts and delivered certain things that I don't agree with 100% of them, but she did come with certain things. It's like, you know, this was false, you know, because of this and that. Where are you getting the facts from? This is, you know, so the fact checking. If you agree with a side, we should be coming with facts. So there's nothing wrong if someone's saying, hey, you didn't do facts here, fact check this. And I also like how she didn't take it to the next level and just discourage like Cardi B, like saying you shouldn't be in this at all. No. She was just saying, you know, putting the work in.
She encouraged her
to you know,
basically like
so
read.
That's the part I agree on.
Yeah. What's the part?
The part I had certain issues with is like she's kind of like threw little statistics and stuff out there, like police issues, right?
Yeah, the police issues.
Right, talking about let's start with the police issues, right? Yeah. She's saying that the police issue is not an issue in the community. Black on black crime. You're more likely to be killed by your husband than the cops, right? Yeah. I think that one, we need to put this in context as facts, right? If we're gonna talk facts, let's put everything out there, right? A fact is, right, a police, right, can be any race, right? A fact is a police has to be a beyond the normal citizen, right? So that's fact number one. So it don't matter who's killing each other more. This one is held to a certain standard, so that's fact number one. So we can't compare somebody that works for us, that's worked for our community. If you kill one, you killed one too many.
Absolutely.
If you kill five, you kill five too many. If you kill 1,000, I don't care about these percentages of this and that. And we'll address that because I'm just saying in this particular case of comparison, I'm not caring in comparison because we got to address all of that. I'm not gonna let that go. Yeah. But
both sides gotta get addressed. Like what we always talk about, like both sides gotta get addressed.
Both sides gotta get addressed.
If we want to get somewhere in life, like nation-wise, if we want to get somewhere, you know, better in life, both sides have to get addressed. The black on black and also the police brutality.
100%, both. Yeah. So 100%, these need to be the most outstanding citizens that are not killing us. They're supposed to be protecting the people, protect and serve. That's number one, right? That's addressing.
That's their job, to protect and serve.
So there is an issue because the communities that Candace Owens said needs more police, which I can agree, but it makes me uncomfortable to agree because I don't know how police are going to treat our people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's negative interactions. Usually these people are not from the community. They are scared, so they elevate it a little quicker than the average.
A lot of these brutalities that happen are in poverty-stricken areas. That's another thing to keep in mind too. Like a lot of these areas that like the poverty rate is through the roof. Yeah. You know. So you know that you also got to take that factor into.
100%.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep going.
And okay, so the black on black crime. So the comparison, I didn't like the context because I feel like That's where we come up with facts where you're trying to confuse people with facts, which is also another political thing. I'm not saying this intention is, but I'm coming with this clarity, whether it's an intention or not, right? So to say that you're more likely to be killed by your husband than a cop, yeah, okay. So you're more likely to be killed by your aunt than a terrorist. What does that mean? Terrorists, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's make sure we have clarity in all of that.
Right.
I just want to put that out there first.
Thanks.
The black on black violence 100% needs to stop. Especially if we want to campaign that police and this people need to stop and we need to be more respected here and this and that. We got to get together. The whole gang stuff got to stop. This side got to stop. We have to start working together as people. You know what I'm saying? And helping each other. And yeah, it should be beyond race. But the problem is, the facts are, we are hurting each other, and that needs to stop. The facts are, we're not working together as much as everyone else are, because there's a pride and culture that has been instilled in a lot of other cultures that has been taken away from ours. You know what I'm saying? But it's not our job to be a victim. It's time to go get it back, work together, because the black on black has to be addressed 100%. That's 100%.
Make no mistake about it. Like, every time we talk about politics, I always talk about the instances in Chicago and the black on black crime.
Yes.
But make no mistake about it. There is racism within police brutality.
Yes, of course.
I know. I see that too. I done seen videos where I seen a white guy grab a taser off a cop, shoot the cop. I seen a video where the nigga shot the taser. He shot the taser at the cop and hopped in the car, and the cop didn't shoot him. Cop didn't do nothing. Cop chased him in a police car, and it was a white dude. And then I seen it happen with Rayshard Brooks. Even though I feel like he shouldn't have grabbed the cop's taser, but I've seen it with both skin colors, and I've seen different outcomes.
100%.
So if you're like we always talk about on this podcast, if you're gonna acknowledge one thing, you have to acknowledge the other. And that's the problem with these lefts and rights. They'll only acknowledge one thing. They won't acknowledge the other stuff that goes on.
and what we need to do, what I want to hear from the politicians and the government is, instead of even talking about defunding police, I think we could even add more funding and restructure the funding where there is better police community interaction. Like, there needs to be something that the police and the community are coming together and they're building things for that community together. It's not going to get any better and build their reaction more than them actually building something for the community that they're patrolling. You know what I'm saying? Let's build the relationships, and then let's actually build tangible things. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my view on that. And then as far as being
No, I was just gonna say, like, did you hear about the instance with the 17-year-old with Kenosha with the assault rifle? How he shot at 2 protesters. Well, I mean, the protesters, they attacked him with skateboards, but he shot at them. First of all, he was carrying an illegal firearm, and he was white. Nothing happened to him. All he did was get arrested. But you got to think about it. In that instance, what if it was a black person with an illegal firearm shooting at protesters? And
the reason why I feel like it would go different is because there is more programmed fear when it comes to that. I don't even think all of it is a conscious racial thing, but it's programmed, right? It's programmed. Like, even to the point where there'll be a minority officer surrounded by people that aren't minorities, and they'll be extra uppity and go hard about it just to show that they're 100% down. So it'll be the minority going harder on the other minority that they're stopping because they want to prove to their co-workers that they're 100% down. You know what I'm saying? Blue lives over on the other lot. You know what I'm saying? So addressing that, and as far as being used by politicians, like, you're all being used by politicians. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good you have free thinking, but anytime these Republicans and Democrats, you know what I'm saying, they don't have this big passion for black people. Now at this thing, you do, a lot of us vote, it's like, which one's the less of two evils? Which one do we have at least a better opportunity to do something for ourselves, because we're not looking for a handout, and that's where it goes. But to act like we're not being used by both sides because they don't care. These Republicans and Democrats love each other more than they care about you and the constituents.
Here's the crazy part. You gotta understand, they care about bringing money to the people, but these dudes have a shit ton of money. All these Republicans and Democrats have a crap ton of bread. They just care about who's the dumbest. Whose vote can I get the quickest?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing to also keep in mind is just because Donald Trump is more out there with his crap, just because he's not afraid to hide his crap, does not make him a better president.
Yeah. You know, and my thing is, I personally,
like
on this podcast platform, I personally don't even want to share where my vote is gonna be or this inside, because I'm just so tired of the biasness, right? Like, if we ever, because we're gonna have an election episode and we're gonna have someone talk about the Democratic side and the Republican side. We're gonna approach them evenly, because I'm tired of Fox News. It feels like they're getting interviewed by the PR, and the same thing on any other, like CNN or certain things like that. It's like they're like coaching these people through the process for them being hard, and that's not to everybody, because I've seen certain people, the exceptions that stand out, but overall that's not what it is with us. It's just like be unbiased and come at everyone the same way. I want to know the truth. I want to know what's really going to help us. I don't want to promote one side because this is a party I've been messing with, because that's when the instance where everybody becomes puppets. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent, you're almost puppets when you're not voting independent. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, for real, yo.
But God, just addressing that, and as far as Candace Owens, we would love to get you on the podcast too, and get some more insight and clarity on your thoughts on this and certain things of that nature. So anybody that wants to defend the Republican side or the Democrat side without dissing the other side, actually just coming facts like what's good about your side, because that's a lot of problem with the election process, is that everyone's just dissing the other side. No one even knows their plan or the future for the country.
We've been talking about this for like 10.
We know their jokes and what they've been saying about each other more than what their plan is.
Yo, we've been talking about this for 10 episodes. 10. I'm like, yo, all these dudes is diss each other, the left and the right. It's so bad, it's a left and a right.
Yeah.
Bro,
rap beef in politics.
Right, like we gotta get away from that left-right mindset first.
Facts. Speaking of getting away, we're about to get away from all of that in general, and we want to talk about something very, very positive, helpful, something that we believe in.
Extra body,
extra bread, and what's a great way to make extra bread?
Having a side hustle.
Having a side hustle. Man, a side hustle is super important. I think everyone should have it. And a side hustle can eventually be your main hustle, depending on the time that you put in. Now, a side hustle. Why do people pursue a side hustle? Now, while making extra money is important, especially in the economical times that we live in, right? Most people, not most people use their side. What are the statistics? It says 62% side hustlers use their cash to pay their bills, but 41% actually use it to pursue passions that fuel them, just things that make them happy. So, for instance,
I think we're part of the 41%.
Yeah. Well. So I would say we were, right, because music is now not our side hustle anymore. It's kind of our main hustle, but it definitely started off as a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? So coming with that being a side hustle, like, you know, I have 500 songs on my computer. Like, I do music for me. Like, I like to make music. I need to drop more. You know, and I'm doing it. But you know, the side hustle, it'll do something for you, man. Right. So that's the first thing I would say with a side hustle. Is just make sure it's something that you just want all money aside. This is something that you like to do, because why put extra time in something that you don't like to do that makes you happy?
For sure.
Let's throw a couple statistics before we even get into the side hustle, right?
Stats.
Let them know these specific.
28% of Americans are actively pursuing side hustles.
Okay.
63% have had at least one in their career.
At least one.
People who work 12 plus extra hours a week can earn
over $1,000 a month.
Over $1,000 a month.
So at least 12 hours.
43% of households' earnings, $80,000 a year, have a side gig compared to 37% of households with incomes.
Yeah, less than 30K.
Less than 30,000.
So actually, that's really dope what you just said right there too, because so they're saying that out of the families that have over $80,000 in income coming in, almost half of them have side hustles. So that's showing the next bracket of success economically, to reach that, at least half of them have side hustles. You know, and
that's crazy.
Exactly, and mind you, these are households. So if there is, like, let's say the other half, they don't have side hustles, they have a whole family of people bringing in stuff. So if you're, like, let's say you're not married, you're a single person, or you don't have everyone in your family that have high paid jobs, the side hustle is the way to break that next level. You know? So dope ways to develop your side hustle, right? Things that you need to think about. So when you're coming up with a side hustle, the biggest thing is if you're going to commit time to something, the free time that you have, and you know you're probably busy, there's a lot going on in this world, as you can see in the news by itself. First thing you want to do is make a list of what you're interested in.
Yeah.
Because you need to love what you're doing so you can be passionate about it, and you're motivated to do that when you're not actually doing your work.
You got to be super motivated, right?
Next important factor. Tell them how important this factor is.
Over number 2?
Mm-hmm.
It says decide early if you will invest money.
Decide
Yeah.
early, because if you're doing a side hustle, and that's how we was able to turn into a main hustle.
Yeah.
Because one, what's worth even more than money is time, because that's something you can never get back. So we invested that time, then we invested that money, and that's when you decide. So when you seriously want to make this a hustle, because even if it's a side hustle, it's still a hustle.
Yeah.
And to make something happen out that hustle, you have to invest in yourself. So side hustles shouldn't cost too much money, but they may require some investment. Upfront things like hosting, branding, tools. You know, you may decide you want to advertise to customers, whatever it is. And that's where we talk about marketing budgets.
Yeah.
So even more than music, whatever
You
your
gotta
side
have a
hustle
marketing
is.
budget.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a marketing.
Tools for success.
Yeah. Schedule time for your side hustle.
So schedule time for your side hustle. So a lot of people, you say you do this and that, but if you're not really putting in the proper time on a weekly basis, daily, monthly, or whatever the case may be, it's not a real hustle.
And it has to be every week. Like this is how much time I'm gonna put in.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1 week you can't put in this amount of time, and then the next week you put in this. It gotta be consistent every week.
Yep.
You want to make sure you stay consistent with your side hustle.
Definitely. Like, I even think about it like daily, you know, depending if you really want it to take off faster, like even if you're not acting on it, at least make sure you're planning daily, you know what I'm saying? You're taking time out.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't forget about your day job, right? So this is a very important factor with the side hustles, because you can transition, but there's a way to transition, and I always give this advice, because sometimes I'm known to jump out the window. I have a lot of things. I usually try not to encourage you to jump out the window unless you just hear that calling with full clarity. You know what I'm saying? So a little preparedness before jumping out the window. When you go to work, right? Even though you have a side hustle, give your 100% while you're at the job.
Yeah.
Don't because you have a side hustle like I'm at the job, I don't have to give anything because I got the side hustle.
I got this check.
Nah.
I got this check waiting off of me. I don't need to take orders from you no more, boss.
Talking back to you, boys. All of you need me. So give 100% while you still at your job.
Yeah.
And if you really want to turn your side hustle into something bigger in your main hustle, utilize your job. While you're at your job, invest as much as you can from your paychecks into your side hustle so you can get away from there. Don't just jump out the window unless you hear that calling from God.
Remember what I talked about last week? Remember what I talked about last week?
Yeah.
If you're living with your parents,
Mm-hmm.
you make a good amount of money.
With your mama. Uh-huh.
With your mama.
Yeah.
And you only got to give a little bit to your mama.
Uh-huh.
And you got the rest of that money for yourself.
Facts.
Do not go to the club.
Don't.
Start investing in your craft.
And you know what? Once you invest in yourself, your mom gonna be like,
because they want you out the house.
That's facts. Oh, now also with your side hustle, I know you probably think that you're the super genius, but if you have a side hustle and it's not your main hustle and it is a side you're just starting on, it's actually good to study up on this hustle. Yeah. Don't just jump out the window. Study, do some research on it. Yeah. If you can find a mentor in that, find a mentor. Yes, make sure you're studying what you can. Right now, you're in a crazy time where YouTube, you can literally learn anything. Like it's crazy. Like things you used to pay thousands and thousands on school, you can actually learn on YouTube to click of a button or Google. So use that or find a mentor in that field. You know what I'm saying? Start stacking. Facts. And even in making the time for your side hustle, man. Making the time for your side hustle.
People always say they're so busy.
Mm-hmm. They say they busy. But what happens?
They binge watching that show on Netflix
I
for 6 hours.
money over love.
Yo, people say they don't have time for a side hustle. They got a lot going on. But yet they all caught up on seasons on Netflix. So how you don't have time? That's time you can be making bread. So how you binge watch 6 hours of Netflix, but you don't got time for your side hustle? Man, let's get it together. Schedule time.
Game of
Get a
Thrones is
planner. So if you see all the Game of Thrones, you can have a side hustle.
Right.
That's like at least like 2 months from your life.
Studying my craft as a TV watcher.
Yeah. See, and you can do that because he's gonna greenlight the shows for Love First TV, so he's good. So if you're not greenlighting shows, then you need to stop binge watching.
It says use your customers for critical feedback.
That's another thing with your side hustle. So whoever you're trying to target, so you can make profit, use them for critical feedback, especially in the beginning. Start focus groups, right? So you can test out new ideas all the time. Listen, people know when they get in my car, I'm bumping my music 24/7. I'm getting opinions. I'm getting rates. I want to know 1 out of 10 what you like about it. There's no other music you can play but that.
Yeah, they be playing like 50 songs in the car.
Thanks.
I'm like, I never heard this one. Like, I had this one for like 2 years.
For real. Setting up listening parties and things of that nature. But even, let's say you do makeup or skincare stuff. Maybe get, if you haven't sold any yet, maybe give out some sample products, see what people think, see what they inquire, what they think about the look of your brand, what they think about the quality. Because they can give all that feedback that can help you stand out from the rest of the competition.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing.
Groups.
Yes. Oh, yeah, tell them about the groups.
Oh, yeah, like the Facebook groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, like, you're interested in and whatever, like, let's say you're interested in, like, I don't know, like, we interested in Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
So we be in these Dragon Ball Z groups.
Facts.
Going crazy.
Making friends.
making friends, making enemies. Because niggas be...
Facts, everybody.
But, you know,
Krillins and Vegeta. It's all about Krillins and Vegeta.
So you just gotta be active, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Be active. If you're selling a product, go into these makeup, groups. There's makeup groups on Facebook. I'm sure there's makeup groups on Instagram and Twitter. So just be active in these groups and just get yourself out there.
And definitely, and you might think, okay, man, where can I find these customers that I don't know? Yo, you know them, right? Work your contacts. Work your contacts, right? Go through your phone, right?
Yeah.
How many numbers you got in there? Start hitting up everybody in there. That's a potential client. What about ex-coworkers? What about ex-classmates, right? And for those of you that are introverts, well, guess what? They have social media, so you can type. You don't even have to make a call. You know what I'm saying? But get in touch with all these people because these are people that could be potential clients. And if you're worried about talking to people you know, how are you going to get these brand new customers that you haven't met? So you want to start off with getting people that you know, and if you have the confidence to be able to do that and be able to sell them, and they already know you, then that should at least build your confidence to go and get these strangers. Mm-hmm. And sometimes strangers will support faster, but you want to build off by going through and working your contacts with people you know, so they at least know you as a person. So while you're building a brand, at least they know you as a person. How you conduct yourself as a person is basically your brand for yourself.
That's what you're representing. Yeah.
Definitely. Connect with past employers, all that good stuff. And also other options of what you could do is become what is this? Instagram influencer, right?
Instagram influencer.
Yeah, tell them a little
bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you want me to read it?
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, most people dream of being famous. The truth is, not everyone can sing or act. Fortunately, you can still build a personal brand around yourself based on what you could do.
Yep.
Maybe you have a really cool fashion sense or can bake an awesome cake. Mm-hmm. On Instagram, anyone can start a side hustle by becoming an influencer. If you don't like the spotlight, that's cool. You can build an Instagram following around your dog or your photography. You can monetize your Instagram account in a couple of ways: sponsored posts, Instagram takeovers, or selling a product on your website.
Man, so that's something you don't even have to leave the house, yeah. So I mean, an influencer, right? Even being an influencer and having a side hustle, not even having the craziest amount of following. The average influencer charges between $200 to $400 a post. Now, obviously, if you have a bigger audience size, you can do more. If you have a slightly smaller, you got to do a little less. So it just goes, and that's per post. Just putting a post on your thing, you know. So we were able to find sponsors of doing one comedy skit with 17 seconds. You know what I'm saying? We was able to find a sponsor for a comedy skit, things like that. So you can definitely get your Instagram monetized like that. And that's from sponsors coming to have you promoting a product or have your own product come out there. And that goes for even other platforms like YouTube. You can monetize. It's about building your watch time, building your brand, right?
A lot of these a lot of these social media websites you can monetize now because they see like the potential, the amount of viewership that they can get from using you.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta make sure you have leverage too, because if you have leverage, that just makes your job easier when you come into these. Well, because they're gonna be knocking on your door.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That
instead of you knocking on their door.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for sure.
That's facts.
And you could do anything, like they mentioned in the paragraph. You could bake cakes.
Bake cakes. You can make teriyaki chicken. Not like teriyaki chicken.
You can make teriyaki.
I told y'all, listen, yo.
It's special teriyaki sauce.
I told my homie, I was like, listen, yo, you cook teriyaki chicken on YouTube, you gonna get at least 1,000 views from me. That's 1K right there.
Yo, do you go on YouTube and just search up teriyaki chicken?
I will. Nah, it's a special sauce I like. Man. I only get it from one person. But
That don't sound right.
yo, come on, man, pause. So teriyaki. No, so and even monetizing your YouTube, and that's something that we really just put a strong focus on this year, and that comes with building watch time and subscribers
Because they have parameters.
And shout out to us, we just reached over 1,000 subscribers for the Therealkdadon YouTube channel.
Yes.
Thanks to the podcast and the music videos, we're blessed, man. Yo, actually we got every noise on the here we go. Yeah. 1,000.
That's the parameters, though.
Yes, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Therealkdadon on YouTube. And also for the funniest reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to Godly Wraith. This one's getting crazy. His YouTube channel about to take off. So we monetize the channels like nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Go up like butterfly doors.
Max. Now, top side hustles, right?
Top 5 side hustles.
Well, it's 5, but I have a 6th one we're gonna give them. So, but we're gonna start off with 5 here, but we got another one for you. So, top side hustles, things that you can think about to take advantage of. You want to start with the first one?
Buying and selling online.
Yes. Like you were telling me about Gary Vee, right?
Oh yeah, I was telling you about I seen the Gary Vee video where it's like he'll go to like these garage sales and get something for like $2.
Yeah.
And then resell it on eBay
What?
for like times 3, like for like $10, $20.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, $20, that's like times a lot more. That's a lot.
But that's smart.
Facts.
That's
My pops
smart.
was the garage sale king. Like, he don't even like to spend bread like that, but he even bought like 7 TVs just because like it was a good deal. Should have sold it on eBay. That would have been a great sale.
That's what I was
He
saying.
got like TVs as decorations.
Yo, this my TV right here.
Yo,
My TV right here.
thanks.
Is
We
my
were watching
30?
the TV on top of the TV. You're like, what? Which TV? No, but facts. Shout out to Pops. He be watching the podcast. He be wanting us to react and do more reaction videos. Also, another side hustle, which I've been seeing a lot of women entrepreneurs getting into this, and it doesn't even have to be women; it could be all types. But beauty, health, and wellness, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, hairdressers, take advantage of that side hustle. Stylists, even being a personal trainer, nutritionists, and meditation teachers. You know what I'm saying? And you can definitely, and for the personal trainer too.
The meditation teachers.
Yeah, the meditation teachers and all of this. You can use your social media platform, your Instagram, and you can start building a following on doing that. Do the video, and then you'll start getting clients just coming to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's that easy.
Yeah.
What's the next side hustle they can take advantage of?
Creative.
Like what's creative?
Art, music, writing, entertainment. Artists and musicians to writers, DJs, comedians, and party planners and entertainers. Yo, that's like our category.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do. That deserves
They
a whole episode.
should just say Therealkdadon and Ring.
Therealkdadon and Ring. Just to talk to them for the side hustle. Yes, man. The creative aspect, man. Being music, right? Doing music, you can make money off royalties from putting music out on different platforms that get picked up by playlists. But the real money from music is getting your music licensed, right? Getting it into TV shows, getting it into movies and things of that nature. And guess what? To get your music license really has nothing to do with views. It's just really off the content of your music. So it's finding the right people, make sure you get them the music. It's the quality of music, and it has to fit the mood. So watch commercials, look at your favorite types of movie to watch, see what kind of music they're using. Look in the credits. Yes, people like to ignore the 5-minute long credit. Take that time to watch the credits. You can find out who the music supervisor is. And now you live in a world where you can hit them up on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So definitely take advantage of that. What's the next one?
Business and Professional covers a wide range of highly skilled professional industries from writing, programming, and design to consulting, legal, financial, and coaching services.
Yeah, you could be a life coach, man. You could be doing accounting work for people, consulting people, or even app development. That's definitely the future. So people that are really good with programming, graphics, app development, any app development, holla at us. We definitely got some app ideas. So all of that, take advantage of that. Get that knowledge. You can go on YouTube. There's classes. There's courses. We might even do another episode about apps, right? Because I know about this amazing course too.
This one, a lot of YouTubers take advantage of.
And what's that one? Go through that one.
Bloggers and vloggers.
Mm-hmm.
Although side hustles have been around forever and are getting a branding facelift, broadcasting online hasn't been. People, notably marketing, educational, and government sector professionals, are more likely to try blogging and vlogging as a means to score extra cash. A lot of people on YouTube vlog.
Yes.
They'll vlog their whole day. And people, and like thousands of people are just interested in that.
Definitely.
And it's just like,
There was someone from Wildin' Out that he blew up big of just doing those vlogs. What was his name? You know what I'm talking about. It was the Mad Money. He was Asian. Timothy Delgado. There we go. Yeah. Yo, some millions of followers just the vlogging thing.
Just daily vlogging.
Daily vlogging, man. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're on top of that. Mm-hmm. And another one that we can take advantage of in this unique time that we live in, and that's becoming a virtual assistant, right? Mm-hmm. Top side hustles have one big thing in common. There's a high demand for them. A virtual assistant is an assistant who works in a remote location as opposed to a company's office. Mm-hmm. They can help with tasks such as administration, social media. A lot of people want social media help, so if you're good with that, make that your side hustle, help people. Bookkeeping and more. There's been a growing demand for virtual assistants from business owners who need help with various projects, as a virtual assistants who specialize in countless areas. So this was put out before the pandemic, so imagine how much more demand virtual assistants are now that there is a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? You can actually help them and they don't have to fear catching anything from
If you already been specializing in this,
mm-hmm.
you eating right now.
Yeah.
Because this pandemic is keeping everybody from their workplace.
And even then, it says how much money can you make as a virtual assistant? Most virtual assistants trade their time for money, so you might get capped based on the number of hours work you can do each week. So you can choose to set a total monthly earning or get paid by the hour. So some make minimum wage, while others might make $35 an hour, depending on their skills and experience. Mm-hmm. So it ranges. So remember, negotiate, do research in the field, so you can actually negotiate something that makes sense. And you can really take advantage of your side hustle, man. Definitely have a side hustle. If it can eventually become your main hustle, and then you can just do what makes you happy. But at least if you do keep your job and you have a side hustle, you have something that makes you happy and it gives you that extra financial freedom. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get any better than that. Doing something that makes you happy and it gives you financial freedom sounds like heaven to me.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. Now, speaking of side hustles, make sure you support our used to be side hustle, now main hustle by downloading Butterfly Doors on all platforms, watching that Nobody Has to Know music video exclusively on YouTube.
Over 1,000 views.
Over 1,000 views in a week. I think it's over 1.3 in a week.
It's at 1.3.
Yeah, we got the reaction videos on his page. We got
Wraith.
comedy. We got more skits coming, but make sure y'all watch those Mr. Rodneys. It's going down. It's going down.
Make sure y'all find our link trees where all our information is at.
Linktree will send you everywhere that you need to be. Yeah. So on my Instagram is my Linktree, Therealkdadon. Follow me on Instagram, get that Linktree.
Mine is on my Instagram too. It's on Wraith_Kuba. You can find my Linktree there. And you can find all my information where I post my videos, the music.
Y'all already know. Now, why hate when y'all can love first? It's the Love First podcast. Yeah.
We gotta show love first like a podcast. Put the work in, trying to make it last. Seen enough deaths, I don't need no more. It's like our nation trying to start a civil war. We gotta show love first like a podcast. Put the work in, trying to make it last. Seen enough deaths, I don't need no more. It's like our nation trying to start a civil war.
Black, Latin, Indian, Asian, and white. Whole lives matter, but let's get it right. There's a specific group of people needing help right now. All lives matter, yeah, I know, calm down. So can we get together, stop the hurting right now? It's getting too political now. If you have